Well, here we go again. Another rainstorm. Another rainstorm, but don't worry. Do not fear. California is going to have a drought in the summer. Never fails. Okay. Let me have my smoke. Man, it's getting cold in here. Just open that door. Oh, okay. Oh, smoking I think I had this in Vegas. Acid. Acid cigar, not acid drug. All right, let's see what it. Wow, this one does definitely have an aroma, but it's kind of perfumey. Kind of perfume. Smells kind of green. So, oh no, I'm gonna have to close the garage. This is definitely. My legs are getting cold, and either that or bring a blanket and put it up here. I used to have a nice little wool blanket. I don't know what I did with it. So now, yesterday, I went to vote, and the guy there tells me, I said, "Oh, I didn't get my ballot on the mail. What's going on?" So they looked it up on the computer. "Oh no, you're not registered." I said, "What do you mean not registered? I've been registered since Reagan, uh, since the '80s." So, oh no, you have to fill this application. So something happened to my record of a voter, Republican voter. It got deleted. And I said, okay, they're trying to sneak something. My wife says, "Oh, you and your conspiracy theories." I go, "No, it's not a conspiracy. Anything to obstruct and let's say that you're disabled, you can't get out of the house, and you won't be able to vote because you don't have the paperwork." And they're hoping on things like that. So I said, "Let me have the paperwork," and we filled that all out, turned it in, and gave me this paper to put it on this computerized screen, and then pick your candidates and everything, and I voted. But when the guy says, uh, before doing that, I jumped the gun. Before doing that, I said, "Let me give him my ID," and I took out my license. The guy says, "Oh no, you don't need ID." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Oh, we're not taking ID. It's not necessary." I said, "You mean anybody can vote, even if it's not a citizen?" "Oh no, he's going to ask you some questions." You know what the questions were? "What's your name? Where do you live? What's the address?" Those are the dark, difficult questions to determine if you're a citizen of this country. So I said, "Look, I could have just come over the border and I can vote." "Oh no, but he's going to ask you some questions." And I said, "What questions?" And I said, "By the way, there's a lot of people that come over the border. They do speak English, and they can fool you." And the guy just shut up, didn't say anything more, because I'm trying to point out that this, what they're doing is wrong. That's what they want. They want people, they want illegals to vote in these elections. Anything to throw a wrench in the works because they don't want the Republicans to get a step ahead here. And they don't want Trump to win, and they don't want any Republican to win anywhere in the country. And they're allowing anybody from anywhere. You can be a freaking Martian and come and vote without papers. And that's what they're doing. They're giving everything. These people are getting Medi-Cal already, and they just got here. They're getting Medi-Cal. Or is it Medicare? I always get them confused. They're getting free medical, okay, without paying a cent. We're the ones paying it. And of course, when you have somebody that gives you all this, you're gonna, as out of gratitude, you're gonna say, "No, I'm gonna vote for this person," and that's what they want. They want all these people that they don't know and they don't really care about. They're just being manipulated to vote for them so they can be in power for an eternity. So I voted, and let's see what happens. I'm hoping that Schiff, whatever his name is, Gary Schiff, get his ass kicked and never run for anything again. I voted for Harvey, Steve Harvey. See what happens there. And Gascon has to go. Gascon has to go. And by the way, I know Gascon from a long time ago. Boy, this cigar smells weird. It's got it it smells like when you burn a stick of essence, those scent sticks, little smoke. That's what it smells like. Weird. The one I had in Vegas was better than this, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I went and bought going to the boat now. No more politics. I wanna do the victory dance if we win, not before. So I went to online about the spark plugs, the water separating filter for the boat. I bought an impeller for my pump that there's a problem, hasn't been delivered. And I bought a couple of oil gauges because I'm tired of my oil gauges. The lights don't go on. They're old and the plastic is brittle and doesn't do the contact. And I said, the hell with it. They're expensive, man, $40 a piece. I bought two of them. One for changing because I like when I turn the console on, I want the gauges to illuminate. No, everything has to light up. So when this weather passes, I'm planning on going on Saturday to put it all together and see if I can start the engine. And I might have a surprise coming, but I'm not going to say what because I don't want to jinx it. It's something to me very important to me. I don't want to jinx it because it might not happen. I've been wishing for this for a few years, and it might not happen because there's a 50-50 chance. Yes or no. So they're gonna say anything more about that. We will know in 3 months, and then in 3 months I would know if it's yes or no. If it's yes, I will be very happy. If it's no, then I will give up and nothing more to do with it. I went to the before the rain. We took a walk, get our exercise. We usually want to do 2 or 3 miles on our walk to be flexible. And we took our dog. We walked all over the place there, and there was a guy that he's staying at the park with a camper. And I wanted to check out the camper, because I always wanted to get a little camper, 17, 20 footer. And as I get closer, I'm looking at the truck. It's a Chevy. And then I'm looking at the wheels. And I'm looking at the truck designation. I'm looking at the wheels, and I'm going, what the hell? This doesn't make any sense. So when I get up to the truck and I said, is that your truck? And the guy was making a barbecue behind the pickup, another pickup. And he said, no, it's my friend inside the camper. So the guy comes out. And I said, okay, I'm looking at your wheels. You got 10 lugs, meaning that it's a 1 ton. And on the side of the door there, on the side of the truck, it says 1,500. Which means half a ton. So how can that be? He goes, this is the only year they made it like that. It's got a 6.2 engine, I think it was, or a 6.8 engine, a big one. It's got a heavy duty transmission, heavy duty differential. It's a 1 ton chassis, but it says half a ton on the truck. And I'm going, well, why? He goes, I don't know. That's the way it is. And I was freaked out because I couldn't figure it out. I'm going, what? So I complimented him on the trailer. I say I always wanted one of those. It was double axle, and then a lady showed up. Her head stuck out. I said, "Oh, okay." So I thought the guy, which is traveling through, and he says, "No, this is my home. I live in my trailer because I can't afford the rent." He goes, "Yeah, I know what you're saying. A lot of people can't." And he parks there for the day. And then at night, they don't allow anybody after 6. At night, he goes someplace else. I think he goes to Walmart and park at Walmart because there's a lot of that going on. That the rent is so fucking high. And the guy, obviously, he's old. He's retired. He probably doesn't make enough money in retirement. That's what he ended up doing. Luckily, he has some money for what he's got. Got a nice generator. He got the he had a ladder. I don't know why, but he had a ladder. He's got a lot of stuff on the truck and a tarp. He says, I better cover it up because it's going to rain in the afternoon. And I didn't want to, being that this is their home, I didn't want to poke my head in there and be a snoop, a looky-loo. I did wanted to see the layout, but I've seen so many trailers that I know what the layout. The bed's in the back, bathroom somewhere in the middle, kitchen on one side, little sofa in the front. It's basically, they're almost the same. For camping, that's a very comfortable thing. And there's another guy that I met 2 years ago. He doesn't go at the park anymore. Something happened, but this guy had a Toyota rear twin axles. I forget the model. I think it was a 1 ton Toyota. I don't know how something so tiny can be a 1 ton, but it's a 1 ton, and it had a camper built in. It wasn't a pickup. It was from the whole body was a camper. And it was coming over the cab. And the guy had a big ball of bandages around his feet, and he was sitting outside in one of those old man chairs like the one I have, the aluminum ones. And I pulled by and I said, "Hey, what happened?" He goes, "No, they had to cut my toes off, and he's got diabetes. He wasn't taking care of himself, taking any pills." And I said, "Well, what happened to your trailer?" Because the back of the trailer completely gone, no wall. He had a piece of tarp hanging as a privacy screen. And I said, "What happened to your trailer?" And it was dragging this much off the ground. I mean, it must have been 2 inches. And I said, "You gonna hit something?" He goes, "Yeah, it's happened." And I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "Oh, well, I gotta get under there and jack it up and put another spring." He explained to me what the problem was, but he couldn't do it. He had no tools. Didn't know where to do it. And I was gonna offer, but that trailer looked so much full of junk, and they had a basket connected to the hitch, and he had that full of shit, full of stuff and barbecue and stuff. And I said, "Well, you need to get rid of this weight so your trailer can lift, and then you can, because you won't be able to put a jack in there anyways. You gotta take all the stuff out." He goes, "Yeah, I'll get around to it." He wasn't really. He lived there. He lived in that trailer, and I said, "Well, do you need any help?" He goes, "Well, can you help me with a 5-spot?" And I gave him 5. I said, "I'll give you 20." He goes, "No, no, no. Give me a 5-spot." All right. And there's a lot of these guys traveling around, going from a park to the roads back in the hills here, or going to the main avenue and parking, and they're there for a few hours. And it's a shame. It's really pity that these guys, these Americans, need help. And what is the government here doing? They're helping the illegals crossing the border. They're basically shunting, ignoring these people that most of them probably were in the army defending the country. I think one of them had a military tattoo on the shoulder, some sort of shield. I didn't really look at it. I'm not intrusive. But that's a shame. That's what I say. Why are there so many people living in the streets, and then they got the money to help all these families coming across that never contributed anything in this country? And they're going to be a burden. They're going to be parasites on this country. Not all of them. Some of them will go to work, but the thing is that they're taking jobs from people that could do the jobs. So it's a dilemma that nobody wants to look at. There's also a lady. Oh, thank you. He's inside. Do me a favor, can you close the garage? It's freaking cold. Little coffee, good. So there's this lady that I've seen a few years already. I would say about 6, 7 years already. That she's hanging around the neighborhoods here. And I seen her in different places a little further. This lady lives in a camper it's got a Dodge diesel engine. I think it's a diesel. And she's got 2 Dobermans with her. And they live in the front seat. She's got nets in the window, big heavy duty nets on the windows. And every time I drive and I see the vehicle, I kind of look at it, go look in the front there, and there are the dogs. That lady lives by herself, and she drives around, so she's not bothering anybody. She parks here, she parks there, and last time I saw her parked in front of this little used car dealer, and maybe she's working there as a secretary, which is good. Um, what I'm thinking is that that lady's husband passed away. She couldn't pay the house because if she had two Dobermans, she had to live in a house. No apartment is going to take two dogs like that. So she lost the house. She's alone, and she's living with her two dogs in a camper. That's a shame. I feel bad for those people. People that they were born here, people that they work here, people that they are citizens of this country, and they have to live like that. They should be getting some assistance from the government here. So okay, we're gonna give you an apartment. We're gonna help you with something. You know, I mean, we pay enough taxes to do that, but no, we're paying taxes to give illegals medical, food stamps, transportation, education, all for nothing. If you want to help people, I don't mind helping people. But I want to help the people that needs the help first. The people here, people from here. 60,000 homelesses on the streets. Half of them are crazy, nuts. When I was rebuilding this house, we went to a place in downtown that fabricates wood doors with decorations of glass and things. And we ordered two doors for my office, French doors. I don't know if I showed them. And we were driving around looking for parking. And there was this guy. Hang on a second. Let me turn the light here. There was this fat American. I mean, completely naked, sitting on the sidewalk with his legs spread out, with a bottle of beer in between his legs. That guy's not right in the head. That guy shouldn't be on the floor like that. That guy should be helped, and be put in an institution so he can get a decent meal, get some treatment. Yeah, he's not gonna get cured. I don't think. I mean, maybe, if he needs some medicine. But if he's crazy, you think that guy should be living like that, like a dog? Not even a dog should live like that. There are some people that are homeless because something happened in their lives that you couldn't control. You know, they lost everything. They couldn't pay. Their job it pays crap. They raised the rent. Everything is high. You know, what used to cost. I used to live in an apartment. Give you an example. I used to live in an apartment. I was paying $825. It had a pool, jacuzzi, sauna, and a little gym room I don't know, I say about 2/3 of a garage. It wasn't big. It had all equipment. But if you wanted to do some exercise, the machines were there. Underground parking. And it was very local. There was markets and restaurants everywhere. I don't remember why I went back. I talked to the manager, and she says, I went back a few days, and she said, "Oh, I'm leaving to another apartment. They got somebody else to take care of this one, and your apartment went up to $1,500. So from 825, it went up to $1,500 a month because all the stuff that was and by the way, including utilities, water and electrical, you couldn't beat that. You couldn't beat that, and that was good for me. It helped me a lot to get back on my feet because I had so many surgeries and stuff, and there was no money coming in, so I needed something to, stay afloat. But some people that they get to the retirement age and they live in a apartment like that, they're okay, they're doing well, or they're just surviving, and all of a sudden, new management comes in or a new owner, because I think that's what happened. A new owner bought the building and pumped everything up to $1,500. And if you're living on Social Security, forget about it. You're out of there. They kick you out. So now you're living in the streets with half of your possessions because you have to leave all your furnishings and everything else. How can you survive? Well, what you get Social Security, the way the rents are now. So that's what I say, that the government should have some sort of a program to say, okay, when you get to that age that you can't pay the this type of the rent the way they're going. Being that you're a citizen, we're gonna pay your whatever you can't pay, the balance. That's something that should be helpful. But no, the politicians here, they're all about themselves. How do they get ahead? How can they make more money? And they don't really give a crap about what's going on. There has to be a sort of a they have to have some sort of an organization that dedicate themselves to solving this problem, because the problem is not going to go away. Right now, what this new mayor, I forget her name, what she's trying to do is she's trying to get him out of sight. But she's not really dealing with the other problems, the other issues. But I've heard, because I know somebody in government, and she told me that she's just shoving him anywhere she can. Put him in here, put him there. But she's not really dealing with the major issue. Is what cost it for you to get to that state, to that position of being out on the streets. Now there's a lot of them that's drugs. You fry your brains. You can't think. I was doing a job on a house that they wanted landscaping, and I said, all right, yeah. And the ground was very hard, and the grass was very dead. They wanted new sprinklers also and everything. And I said, okay, we need to take all this dead grass out of here. I need help. So I said, I'm going to hire somebody. And I had all the tools. So I went by this Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's about 4 guys hanging out there. And I said to them, hey, you guys want to do some yard work? I want to clear out a yard and take out the dead grass. And this guy said, me? Okay, get in the truck. So we driving back, and on the way back, I noticed that he started talking to himself, and he's like mumbling. I'm looking at him like, excuse me, what you say? And I say, oh, this guy's. I think this guy's fried. I should have looked at his eyes. He had bloodshot eyes. I thought maybe it's a hangover. It happened. So anyway, we get to the job. I gave him the tools. I gave him a hoe, a rake, and a shovel so he can, And I started working on the side of the house because they had it was a good sized property. They had a long yard on the side that all that was going to be taken out. And I'm over there raking and cutting the grass and everything. And I said, well, let me check on this guy. It was like 20 minutes. I'm going to check on this guy, see how he's doing. When I went around the property to the front, he's not done nothing. He hasn't done nothing. I'm going, hey, come on. He was still talking to himself. And he was just leaning against the rake and just talking and hand gesturing. And I'm going, oh, shit. And I said, no. I said, listen, it's okay. Here's $10. Go home. And he didn't even say nothing. He just got the money and started walking. Because the guy was fried. I said, go home. I'm not taking you back. You already make me spend time over here coming back here. So I did the job basically by myself. I raked everything out and killed it. It was already dead. There was no water. And then when I went to start digging to start replacing the piping, the pick would bounce off the ground. That's how hard the dirt was because the lady didn't water the lawn for years. And I said, okay, let me get the water hose. And I spent like a whole day wetting. 2 days later, I went back and I started, and then it was working, because the ground was already soft. And so it took me a whole day to soften up the ground. To make a long story short, I bought 3 palms, did an island in the middle, planted the 3 palms. They're about 10 feet, something like that. 8 feet, about 8 feet high. Brought in rototill the whole ground. After I did the piping, obviously, I did the sprinklers and changed sprinkler heads and everything, and new control, everything. And then brought in manure, mix it in with a rototill, mix it all in there. And then I had a truck come in from Home Depot and brought pallets of grass. I had 2 guys for that they were okay in the head. And it's okay. Here's a knife each, drywall knives. I said, what you do is you put it down, roll it out, cut what's left, tuck it in. And then I had a roller that you put water in the tank for weight, and then you roll it over it. So the neighbors, when they left to work, there were some people there that worked for the government across the street. When they went, the ground was already smooth, but there was nothing else. When they came back, it was a full landscape job. I had a standing ovation from the neighbors, and I was taking bows because it was such a change in the property. It beautified it. And then I put some lights, cabaret lights on the palms, pointing up. Really nice. And I had a standing ovation because of the green grass. It was like a carpet all the way on the side like that. It was beautiful. The thing is that if you get people that they are a little bit down on their luck, you give them a kind of a job like that. The government can do that. Talk to landscaping companies. Hey, I got a couple of guys here that need work. What do you got? Oh, we're going to be moving some things here. We're going to be doing that. Okay, send them in. Have a department to try to help these people so they get off the streets and they can find an apartment. They can get a roommate. They can get a little beater upper, a bicycle, motorcycle, whatever, so they can get to the job and help them get off the floor. If you don't do that, they're gonna be there forever. Because it's hard. If you don't get a hand up, it's hard to go up by yourself. It's hard, especially if you don't have an education. But the people in government, I don't know what they do with the money, but we're getting taxed up to yin yang. If I see results, if I see projects, like for instance, it's raining now, the water's running down the street into the river, out to the ocean. If they say we're gonna build another reservoir with your tax money, so we won't go through another drought without water, because they were saying don't use water, don't use water. I say okay, I agree with that. I want to see the money working, not wasted. And most of these government agencies, it's just a lot of talk, a lot of departments living off us, and they don't get shit done. A bunch of departments that their sole job is to collect money, calling people. Oh, can you donate to this? Can you donate to that? Well, what is the donation for? Oh, we're going to help the poor. Okay, let me know where you're going to do that, where you're going to hand out the food, and I'll be there, and then I'll make a check for the donation. But no, oh no, we just need you to send in the money because we're going to do a drive, and then later on, no. Not with me, buddy. Not with me. I want to see my money working. If I'm going to donate money, I want to see what it's for. Don't just pocket the money and only spend 10%. 90% is for the organization, the nice offices, the nice desks, the air conditioning. Everybody has a nice job, making good money, and the people that the money's supposed to go for, they're not getting diddly squat. Bunch of crooks. That's what we got here. A bunch of crooks. They collected $1 billion about 2-3 years ago for the homeless. Where are the homeless? Right there, getting wet. They're in the streets. $1 billion. $1 billion. And they haven't done shit. Where'd the money go? Who knows? Now on the new ballot, I was reading that now Newsom is concerned for the vets. He's concerned for the welfare of the vets, that they're homeless. See how he works it out? So it's not for the homeless anymore. Now it's for the vets. So it pulls on your heartstring, right? The vets that are homeless. Those vets were homeless before. You got the money and nothing was done. It's a bunch of bullshit. So anyways, okay guys, I'll see you on the next one.